Yeah, well, back in 1992, a horrible crime had taken place in a small county called Burleson County, Somerville, Texas. 6 people were murdered, an entire family. They were shot, stabbed, bludgeoned to death. Gasoline was poured all over their bodies, and the house was burned down in an obvious attempt to cover up the crime. And so that was a lot of outrage because this was a small community, and this hadn't happened like that in that community since it existed. So they wanted justice. They wanted whoever done it to pay. As a matter of fact, the mayor came out the next day and said that whoever had done that crime didn't deserve a trial. They should just be caught and hanged. And so that's the way they pursued the case. Uh, about a week later, they had a funeral. This funeral, this young man shows up with burns on his body. He became a person of interest to the Texas Rangers, who were also at the funeral. After the funeral, they followed this man home, asked if they could interview him. Took him to the DPS office for over 14 hours. They interrogated this man. He called my name and said that I was involved in a crime with him. We didn't know that immediately after he lied and they charged him with capital murder, he tried to recant and tell the truth, but they hid all of that. I was picked up the next day, taken to the jail, charged with capital murder, and I ended up spending 18 and a half years of my life fighting for my right to be free as an innocent man. In 2010, I was finally exonerated, and ever since then, I've been out advocating across the globe about our need for criminal justice reform. You can't take the word of someone else and go and disrupt someone else's life without evidence. So what they did is they took this man's lie and he told them that he lied. They didn't tell nobody that he said that he lied. And they came and they just disrupted my life without any investigation to find out whether that man was telling the truth or not. They just came, picked me up, charged me with capital murder, and then they started trying to build a case. As inexperienced as they were, they believed in me. I mean, I watched them cry crocodile tears when I was wrongfully convicted. They believed in me, but they was overwhelmed by a seasoned prosecutor who was out to win at all costs. So there was a lot of games being played that they wasn't savvy enough to keep up with because they were inexperienced. They never tried a capital case before. They come out with the verdict and found me guilty with no evidence, but I was exonerated because the prosecutor, after going through about 10 prosecutors, came onto my case and read every single piece of paper that was and realized this man is actually innocent. And then she moved to dismiss charges against me. And the charges was dismissed and I was exonerated, I was compensated, and now I'm an advocate for justice. Well, the sheriff and them came. I was in solitary confinement. They came to my cell and told me that they was taking me up front. Didn't tell me why. We get up to the front. My attorneys were there, and my attorney is the first person to tell me that the state had just dismissed all the charges against me after 6,640 days, 2 execution days, over 300 men murdered around me by the state of Texas. It was over now, and then I was on my way home.
That was the first time you
Well,
heard?
I was still in battle mode, man. So it kind of went over my head, because I woke up 6,639 days behind bars, wanting to be free. And then this day, here it is, they're telling me that it's over. It was scary. It was scary because I've dreamed this so many times, and I just knew that if this was another dream, it was so real, how would I be able to come back from this? So I was scared. I was scared to accept that and receive that information because so many days, as I say, I woke up behind bars. And I didn't know if this was just going to be another dream, vivid dream, to where I wake up and I'm still behind bars. I didn't know if they just got the information wrong and they were just taking me up to the court, was going to bring me back. I was afraid to embrace my freedom because they had incarcerated me for so long. And then finally, as I was walking back down the hall with an officer to get my property, it just dawned on me that it's over with, man. After all this time, it's finally over with. And it's over with because a prosecutor decided to do the unpopular thing, and that is to do what was right. Okay? The solutions are safeguards. Where are they? A safeguard is that if a county decides that they have a case that they want to seek the death penalty on, they should go to a 3-panel judge, retired judges. a judge, a defense attorney, a police officer, or whatever. But it should be a three-panel judge, and they should decide whether there's enough evidence, credible evidence, for the state to seek the death penalty against this person. So therefore, you take it out of one person's hand and you put it in a panel of experts who can look at the facts of the case and make a determination whether this case it has enough facts and it's gruesome enough and it meets the criteria for seeking the death penalty. If we're going to have the death penalty, that's how it should be.